Welcome back, and in this video we'll be creating the cat skin workspace, because when you are creating your own code, or running certain robots, you would like to run it on your workspace. As usual, the link are given in the description, and you can go to this link and see the documentation that I am following. So let's get started. So I have already my Ubuntu installation open, and I will first set up my bash. Okay, and we'll go to the screen and fire up this command. I'll just maximize it, and have to just put the distro. I just missed it. My distro is Foxy, because you have been watching the series. In the previous episode, I showed you how to install, and I've been working on the same Foxy edition for this particular tutorial series. All right, and then we'll create a new directory, which is creating the source folder. So you can go here. All right, and then I'll change to that particular directory. All right. Yeah, worked with ROS1 is the same process, so nothing much of a change that we generally work in the SRC folder. The only difference, major difference, is that there we are being using catkin, and here we will be using colon as a build system. Now next we need a sample repo to clone. All right, and I'll be copying this because the example is from Foxy and we are also on Foxy. So just paste it. All right. So this, what this is doing is that it is cloning into the directory of Foxy. So in case you are new to it, so I'm going to this website, and for this particular version of ROS2 version, what I am doing, I am downloading the tutorials. So these are the sample tutorials. Now these are given with the package made by the ROS2 developers, and also by the community. So when you start skilling on ROS, we always start with the ROS tutorial. All right. So that's what I've done just now. All right. So I'll just clear the screen. All right. So this is done. Let's go to the next step. The next step is to list the ROS tutorial. So let's try that. Which are there inside it. So let's go to the next thing. We have to resolve the dependency. Again, it is you have to put your correct distro. So let me just clear the screen. Okay, and make sure you are in the SRC folder when you are doing this. All right, and again I'll put Foxy. ROSDEP is not there, so I'll just install it. Provide the sudo password. ROSDEP is not installed, so we'll just sudo install it. So ROS sudo app. It's prompting me also install Python 3. Don't make a spelling mistake. Given yes, and ROSDEP would be installed. It won't take much of a time because it's a single package. My ROSDEP is installed, so I'll rerun the ROSDEP install. It's asking me for an update, so I just update it. So this part is interesting because it is adding for the Foxy, as you can see it's here that it is adding for the Foxy part, which is here. Alright, so once this is done, we'll try the command again. So as you can see that all require ROS dependencies have been installed, and just in case you have missed out where I'm referring, so this is the status as OK, so that makes us happy. All right, so let's go to the next step. Now, as I said that here we don't use catkin, we use colcon, and so we'll use colcon. I'll clear the screen so that it's easier for you, and let's run it. So to install colcon, because this is not there, I'll just fire in this command. So colcon is installed. Just if you missed the command, I'll just give it. I'll just scroll up for all of you, and here is the command, as you can see. And don't miss this Python 3. So this is the command to install Colcon. Yeah. So so that worked. I'll just clear the screen. All right. So let's go to the next part and try Colcon build. So it's built, and the status message, you have to be patient and don't quit in between thinking that is doing the same thing, because you might get a repeat message, and which is okay actually. For me it took 5.5 minutes, and this is the final message. Alright, you can cross check it by doing an ls, and you can list the message, and everything would be inside your install folder. Alright, so if you come here, as you can see, the documentation says that the installed directory where your set of files are. It also talks about a concept called as overlay, and let me try to explain that what it is. This is something like inheritance. Now, the documentation do not call it as inheritance, but I'm giving a very bare bone example so that you can relate to this concept. So you have your main workspace, which is your default workspace, and this is only active when you are opening up a terminal, say called as terminal 1. Moment you close this terminal 1, the lifespan goes, which means that you cannot say this. So what you would do is this: on top of that, you create another workspace, and you call it overlay, and this has reference to all the dependencies. So you do not have to make changes in the core workspace, and you can continue using the overlay workspace. So that's more or less the concept, and it's a good developer feature which you can use, and that's the reason we did the overlay. Now we'll source the particular overlay which I just talked in. So I'll just copy this command, and clear the screen. I need to give my distro, which is Foxy, as you know. So that part is done, and I'll now change it to my workspace, and I'll just install it. So here is a dot, so don't miss it, because I'm not sure if you're able to see in the video. So here is a dot, so don't miss that dot. All right, and run it. As a next step, we'll go into the workspace of dev, and we'll have to edit a file. All right, so you can see the path from this section, just highlighted. So we need to go to this particular path. Okay, so I'll just copy this path and go to this path. Change directory and give the path name, and then you list a file, and there is this file which will need to modify the turtle.frame, because we want to make a small change in the title of the turtle board, and see if that is getting called from our workspace. Okay, so we'll use the Nano Editor, and just type in the file name, and if you come out, the change that I'll make is the name of the window. So if you look at the documentation, it is talking about set window title, and I'm here, and you can see this is the set window title. Yeah. So I'll change the name for this, and probably put my name, and I'll save it. Control S to save, and Control X to come out of it, and then I'll again go to my workspace. All right, just to make sure I am in my workspace. It may be possible that you need to build it one more time, which is given here. So if you're doing it initially, you can just build it, and after the build is done, you do the ROS run. So let's wait for the build to happen. This will again build it, because we have changed the source code a bit one line, but we made some changes. It is successful, and now you can give the command of ROS2 run turtle sim, and the change should get reflected, and this is what we modified in the code. So congratulations, you created your workspace. You also referred it and then made some changes to the standard package, because you wanted to keep the base package intact, and then you ran it, and it is giving you the modified result. So hope this was helpful. I'll catch up with you in the next video.